culinary technologies. First one is bake. Bake is cooking in dry heat. Next one is bechamel, a grand sauce made from milk and roux, flavored with piqué onion. And next is bouquet garni, aromatics tied together in a small bundle, consisting of parsley stems, thyme, bay leaves, and sometimes other fresh herbs. Next is clarify, to clear. To clear soup is clarified by addition of egg whites, ground meat, and vegetables. Next is butter. Butter is clarified by melting and removing the milk solids. What is left? The butter fat. Next is essence, a concentration of particular flavor, that is essence. Next is force meat, a mixture of finely ground meat that is highly seasoned. Force meat is used for the preparation of pates, galantines, and stuffing. We have fine herbs. It is a mixture of chopped herbs. Next is fumet, a concentrated fish stock. Next is glaze. So glaze, a stock concentrated to a syrupy consistency, used for adding flavors to sauces and other dishes. And next, we have gratin, to brown quickly. So using broiler or salamander. The next is grill. Grill is to cook with intense dry heat. So heat is from a source below the meat. Next is marinate, to steep meat, fish, or poultry in a flavored liquid. Sometimes it is wine, water, and spices, herbs and vegetables. It is to add flavor or tenderize or preserve. So next is mise en place. It is to make ready. Everything is in place. Next is pan fry. Pan fry is to cook small, thin pieces of meat, fish, poultry, or vegetable in shallow fat. The product may also be breaded. Next is ragu. Ragu is a stew. Next is reduce. Reduce is to boil down or concentrate. And next is roux, a thickening agent made from flour and butter. Next is roast, a method of cooking in dry heat, used for larger cuts of meat, poultry, and game. Saute. Saute is to cook quickly in a small amount of oil or fat. Sear. Sear is to brown the outside of a cut of meat to help seal in juices. And the next is simmer. Simmer is to cook in liquid that is under the boiling point. Rest. Rest is to allow food to rest after roasting and before carving. This allows the juices to seep back into the meat fibers. Next is skim. Skim is to remove particles of impurity from the surface of a liquid. Sweat. Sweat is to cook without color. Staying vegetable in a covered pan using moderate heat so they do not brown. Tie. Tie is encasing a roast with string to help hold its shape. Heat transfer and cooking methods. So, in order for food to be cooked, heat must be transferred from the heat source to and through the food. So, understanding the ways in which heat is transferred and the speed at which is transferred helps the chef control the cooking process. There is 3 heat transfer methods. So, the first one is conduction. So, what is conduction? Conduction, it is a process by which heat energy is transmitted through collision between neighboring molecules. This occurs in 2 ways. So, the first way is when heat moves directly from one item to something touching it. And the second one is when heat moves from one part of something to an adjacent part of one item. So, that is conduction. The second heat transfer method is convection. So, what is convection? It is the heat transferred in liquid and gases. There is two kind of convection. The first one is natural. Natural, hot liquid and gases rise while cooler ones sink. In any oven, kettle of liquid or deep fat fryer, a constant natural circulation distributes heat. So the second type is mechanical. In convection, ovens and steamer fans speed up the circulation of heat. Heat is transferred more quickly to the food and the food cooks faster. The third heat transfer method is radiation. Radiation, it is the energy that comes from a source and travels through some material or through space. Number 1 is infrared and number 2 is microwave. And now, we're going to discuss the cooking methods. There is two types of cooking methods. Two ways, actually. The first one is moist heat. Methods are those in which the heat is conducted to the food product by water or water-based liquids rather, such as stocks and sauces, or by steam. Though the number 1 is boil. Boil is to cook in liquid that is bubbly rapidly and is greatly agitated. Now, letter B is simmer. Simmer is to cook in liquid that is bubbling very gently. So, number 3 is poach. Poach is to cook in liquid, usually in a small amount. That is hot but not actually bubbling. Number 4 is blanch, to partially cook food by immersing in boiling water. And steam is to cook food by means of exposing it to steam. And the last one is braise. Braise is to cook by covering food with a small amount of liquid, usually preliminary browning. So the second way of cooking is dry heat. Methods are those in which the heat is conducted without moisture. That is by hot air, metal radiation, or hot fat. The first dry heat method is roast or bake. Roast or bake, to cook food by surrounding it with hot, dry air, usually in an oven. And the next one is broil. Broil is to cook with radiant heat above. And the next one is grill or griddle or pan broil. Done on an open grid over a heat source, which may be charcoal, an electric element, or gas heated element. And the next one is saute. Saute is to cook quickly in a small amount of fat. And the last one is deep fry. Deep fry is to cook thin, tender food products completely submerged in fat. So that's all. Thank you.